Hi, I'm Nick. I'm going to show you how to create a new variable, or rather assign a value to a new variable in R. So, as you may know, you can use R as a sort of souped up calculator. Now I could type a number in, hit enter, and it'll just print that number back to me. I could also do a calculation. I could say 3.14 times 22, hit enter, and it'll print the result. Now, what if we want to use that result in a future calculation? We might want to stash it away somewhere handy so that we can recall it at a later time without retyping 3.14 times 22 over and over and over again. So the way we store a value for later use is by storing it in a variable. And the notation for doing that in R is a little bit unique, but that's what makes R special. So we use something called the assignment operator. So we want to store this value, 3.14 times 22, in a new variable called x. Now, you might expect us to be using an equal sign here, which is very common in most other programming languages. But R has some idiosyncrasies, which is the reason some people love it and the reason others hate it. I happen to be in the camp that loves R. So in this particular case, the assignment operator, as it's called, is actually an arrow which we form by using a less than sign followed immediately by a minus sign. There's no space in between the less than sign and the minus sign, although it's good practice to include a single space on either side of the assignment operator. And that's actually not required, but I think it's good stylistically because it's a little bit easier on the eyes, appears less cluttered. Okay, so generally more readable code is better code. So I'm going to hit enter here, and now you can see down the left-hand side of my screen here, because I'm using RStudio, it very nicely shows me that I now have a variable called x in my workspace, and it stores the value 69.08, which we can see by typing x and hitting return, and it prints the value back there to us. Now you'll notice we didn't see the value immediately. We had to explicitly print the value in order to see it. And the reason that is when you assign a variable, assign a value to a variable in R, R assumes that you don't necessarily want to see the value computed immediately. You're probably storing it for later use. And that's nice. It kind of keeps your console clean. If you got the entire output back from a computation every time you did a computation, it might be a little bit overwhelming at times. So we've just captured it here for later use. Now, let's say we want to create another variable y that has the value 10 to the power of 3. Okay, so I'm showing you some arithmetic, some basic arithmetic in R. This little caret represents exponentiation in R. So this is y gets the value 10 to the third power, 10 to the power of 3, I should say. And that's kind of the way this is read. Y gets the value on the right-hand side here. Hit return. Now we can see what's in y. That's a nice round number, 1,000. Okay. And finally, let's say maybe we're interested in the value x divided by y. So we can just type x divided by y and print the value there to the console. Or we may want to store it in a new variable called z. So let's instead type y gets the value z gets the value x divided by y. Hit return. Now z stores our value 0.06908. All right, hope this was helpful.